The truth is that I didn't understand that my home was unique until I was much older. Because during the 1950s and 60s, when I was growing up, I was born, by the way, in Shanghai in 1945, just after the war. So really the times that I remember are the 50s and 60s in my parents' home. The people who came to my home were at that time the creme de la creme of the Yiddish world in New York. All the actors and actresses who, the last of the great Yiddish actresses, Mina Byrne, died about a year ago. But these were people who were the actors and actresses. Miriam Crescent, her husband, was one of the directors of WEBD, the Yiddish radio station. Ben Bonus, Razel Buzik, who was in the movie Crossing Delancey, and of course Bashe the singer, Elie Wiesel. All the great Yiddish writers were at our house. But I didn't know that my home was any different from anyone else's home. That I happened to mention that so-and-so was at my house, that people would say, you know that person? There was a comedy team who had survived the war. They were considered the Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis of the Yiddish world. Their name was Jigan and Schumacher. And they were at my house, and they would tell jokes to one another, and we all laughed, and we thought it was wonderful. But I didn't know it was any different at anyone else's home. And because my parents insisted that my sister and I speak Yiddish, there was no choice. We spoke Yiddish at home, and it wasn't as in many homes that the parents spoke Yiddish, but the kids answered in English. We spoke Yiddish, and I went to the Workman's Circle Yiddish school, and the Farband Yiddish school. And we spoke Yiddish at home, so anything that was going on, of course, I understood, and I understood the jokes. I think it was later, when I was a late teenager, especially after my father died, and I reflected back, that I remembered what was going on in my home and the people who came into my life and who knew me and whom I knew.